Hey guys, what's going on? It's Sorrowful here, and I think it's about that time where I show you guys my Bowmaster's equipment, just so you guys know where I'm at and all that good stuff. As you can see, I am 2 mil clean, but we'll get into that a little bit more. Let me just unbuff for you guys to show you. So 2 mil clean. But anyway, let's start with the equipment, and then after I'll show you guys my HyperStats setup, and then I'll show you guys my link skills as well. So to start, we have 0 totems, and to be honest, I don't plan on getting totems on this character because again, I do plan to switch back to my Wind Archer. So totems aren't really, that big for me, although it would add a decent amount to my damage. So I'll probably look to get gold totems down the road whenever the Dark Totem event comes around. But as of right now, I'm fine with having none. My first ring is my solid Galax ring, perfected, and it has 21, 26, 28% dex, so it's really nice. It also has a max damage cap increase plus 5k, but it's not like my Bowmaster could hit cap on the harder bosses in the game anyway. So for my Bowmaster, that's a little bit useless, but still nice to have, I suppose. Next, superior Golic ring. It is perfected, and it has 27% dex with a nice 22 attack in the bonus potential. So for these two rings, I don't plan too much to touch on the bonus potentials, at least not for a little while. But this one is legendary, so I would like to have 7% or more on that bonus potential. But 5% all stats with a max damage cap increase is pretty nice, so it's not something I'm prioritizing, so to say. So next up we have my reinforced Golic ring. As you can see, it's perfected. It has 36% dex, as well as 10 extra attack in the bonus potential. I do plan to get this bonus potential to legendary in the next miracle time, so that's something to work on as well. But other than that, it's super solid ring, and you can't really argue about that. Next, my Scarlet Ring. It's just, there's no real reason why I actually have a Scarlet Ring. It's just because it's 30% dex, and it was either this or a cracked Galax ring, or a legendary god or lightning god ring, which I don't really want to spend the extra money on because LGRs are overpriced. But yeah, so Scarlet Ring is what I chose to go with, and it also has a neat effect. A lot of you guys asked what a Scarlet Ring does exactly, so I figure I might as well just explain that right here. So pretty much the Scarlet Ring can act as a part of any other set that actually has a ring involved. So as you can see right there on the right hand side of the stat, it acts as if it's a part of my superior Golic set. So, because I already have 4 superior Golics things on, being the earrings, pendant, and ring, a double pendant at that, I don't need this. But even if I did take a pendant off, technically I only have 3 superior items on, but because of this, I still get the 4 bonus effect, because this acts as a second superior Golic ring. So it just kind of, acts as that. It's if you wanted to use a different pendant instead of double superior rings, pendants. So you could act it as double superior rings instead of pendants. I hope that made sense. I pretty much butchered that, but hopefully you guys know what I mean, and hopefully it's not too hard to understand. And this increased EXP bullshit wants to come in and ruin everything, so let's move over. Alright, so it's 38% dex, beautiful. It does have 2 slots. I will be prime scrolling it for the remainder of the slots, so only thing I really got to work on is, again, the bonus potential. I want to get all my bonus pots to at least 2 useful lines, so whether it's double dex lines or an attack and a dex line, I just want to make sure I have 2 useful lines. So bonus pot and the scrolling is what I'm going to do for this. Next we have my superior Galax pendant number 1. It is perfected, and it is 45% dex. So it's quite amazing. I think this is my highest percent stat item. And honestly, it can't really get better than this, to be honest. Like, it could, but very, very little bit. Like, I could put a 4% neb on there instead. I could recube it to get 33% stat in the main potential, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, definitely an endgame item. Nothing that I need to change about it. And you guys already saw how I got to this potential in my previous cubing video. If you didn't watch that video, feel free to click the annotation that popped up right now in this video in the top right corner, or refer to the link in the description below, titled Bowmaster Cubing. Next we have my second superior Golic pendant. It's perfected as well. The main potential is 33%, 7 in the bonus pot, 4% neb, equaling a total of 44% dex. So within my 2 pendants alone, I have roughly 90% dex, and if you ask me, that's a little bit absurd, but I'm happy about it. With that being said, I don't have any intentions to change this equipment's bonus potential because honestly 7% is good enough for me. So there's no point arguing with it, and it also has 5% of my secondary stat, which, while it doesn't count for much, is still something. Next we have my most prized item, which is my bow. It is perfected with prime scrolls, plus 199 attack. If only it was 200, but hey, 199 is just as good. 40% boss damage, plus a 25% boss neb, which doesn't even show on my screen, so don't worry about you guys not seeing it, but I can't see it either, so that's a little bit of annoyance to me because I can't see that nebulite on there. But I also engraved my name in this bow at the top, as you can see, quick shots, Fafnir Windchaser, so that's awesome. And 40% boss, 25% boss from the neb, 7% PDR from the Magnificent Magnus Soul applied, as well as the 60% PDR from the bonus main potential, and 21% attack, as well as 9% crit in the bonus potential. So this weapon has a ton of stats going on for it. In total, it gives me, including its actual innate potential, it gives me 95% boss, 77% PDR, 21% attack, and 9% crit rate. So that's quite amazing if you ask me, and I love my bow. I love it to death. Next we have my Tyrant Belt, 10 stars, and I plan to leave it at 10 stars for a long time to come. It gets a little bit too expensive to keep getting stars on it, so that's for the far future. But I'm in the process of clean slating it to get its slots back because all 4 scrolls failed. So I'm getting its slots back, and I will be prime scrolling it with accessory primes. I already have all my prime scrolls that I need, so it's just a matter of getting these slots back. So it will have 200 of each stat, 205 to be exact. But for the meantime, it's what it is right now, with a total of 27% dex, as well as a nice 12 attack in the bonus potential as well. Next we have my Tyrant Boots, which are +4, so there's no slots available. 93 attack, 10 stars, just like my belt. All my Tyrants are 10 stars, but just put that out right now. It has 24% dex in the, actually 21% dex in the main potential. I wish it was 24. 4% in the bonus pot, 2% dex nebulite for a total of 27%. A lot of my items do have 27% dex, so that's pretty good, but at the same time it could be better. Also guys, for both of these Tyrant equips, actually you know what, I'm probably going to leave this one how it is because it's 2 pretty nice lines, but for this one I do want to get it to legendary perhaps and get 2 nice lines on it as well. I know 4% dex is a pretty nice bonus potential, but I could do better. I know I can. But yeah, next my Rudaba pants, which have a total of 25% dex. Not gonna re-scroll these to prime them, none of that bullshit. I'm completely satisfied with having 30 attack on my pants, and I don't need it to have 200 stat to be happy. So I will never clean slate this or innocent scroll it rather, and I love it the way it is. 25% dex, decent hyper body neb, can't go wrong. My Rudaba top, 21 attack, same deal as my pants. I will not innocence it to get prime scroll it, none of that crap. Not that prime scrolling's crap, it's obviously better, especially for endgame, but it's just not worth the time and money in my opinion for my current condition. And yeah, that's just my opinion. So 21 attack, 23% dex, and I have a abnormal status duration -2 seconds nebulite on there, mainly because of Lotus. That thing helps so much against Lotus, the boss. So I have that on there, but once I get 100% abnormal status resistance, I'm gonna go ahead and take away that nebulite and put a dex nebulite on there instead. So yeah, I know before you guys say abnormal status resistance does not work against Lotus, I'm aware. I just don't want to have this. I no longer want to have this nebulite on my top once I do have 100% abnormal status resistance. Next we have my Raccoon Mask, tradable, 30 attack with 19% dex in the main potential, as well as a 2% dex neb for a total of 21%, and it has pretty good bonus potential if you ask me. I'm probably going to try and re-cube the bonus pot though in the future to get 2 lines instead of just that one. I know drop rate is plus 3% is something, but literally 3% is nothing. So I will be re-cubing that bonus potential, but for now, that dex per 10 character levels plus 1 gives me, in my current condition, about 4% dex, so that's pretty awesome. Next, because my Bowmaster is only a temporary main, I decided to just pick up a quick 6% dex face accessory. No need to go all out on something that's going to be used for such a short period of time. So I picked this up in the FM for a good, decent 150 mil. Pretty quick, and that's pretty much that. Next, my Rudaba hat, 26 attack. I will not be innocencing it to prime. And it has 21% dex in the bonus main pot, 5% in the bonus pot, 2% neb, for a total of 28% if math serves me correctly. So it's 21, 26, 28%. So yeah, pretty nice. I do plan to recube that bonus potential. I do believe I could get better than 1 line. So hopefully I could work on that in the future as well. Next, we have my Superior Galax earrings perfected. They have 21% dex in the main pot, 4% dex in the B pot, 4% dex nebulite, for a total of 29% dex, which is pretty nice. But again, that bonus pot can move up a little bit, so I'm going to have to work on that as well in the future. Hopefully during next Miracle Time I could get all these things to where I want it to be. It's just a matter of if I have enough money or not. So yeah, got to work on that, but it's 29% for right now, and that's more than fine. Next, we have my shoulder, my Empress shoulder, 10 attack. The attack is a little bit low, but honestly, you can't get much attack on these anyway, unless you're using like a Black Tinker shoulder, which I don't have plans to upgrade to. But for the meantime, 21% dex in the main pot, which I will not be changing, 4% dex in the epic bonus potential, and then a 2% neb, for a total of 27%. So I am going to be working on that bonus potential, get it to legendary hopefully, and get at least 7% on it or something like that. Also, this is +2, so I have to clean slate this as well, and I'll probably use an accessory or armor, whichever one works for shoulders. I think it's an accessory, so I have to use a prime scroll on this as well. So yeah. Next, we have my Tyrant gloves, +4. I scrolled it with +3 weapon attacks for gloves, so pretty much 10% GFA scrolls, so that's pretty awesome. It has decent speed infusion along with 18% dex. And honestly, I was thinking of getting % min crit, trying to get % min crit with some dex %, but honestly I think this is fine. Because I don't think I need min crit anymore on my Wind Archer, so we'll see if I decide to go with it or not, but I think I'm just going to leave it how it is. 18% dex with decent SI, you can't go wrong with that, and the bonus potential is absolutely beautiful. All stats plus 4%, that's obviously all stats plus 4%, it's amazing. And then I have dex per 10 character levels +2, so that gives me about an extra 8% dex. So in total, that bonus potential, while it doesn't look like it, is giving me about 12% dex, which is absolutely amazing. And then we got the 2% dex nebulite on there just in case, because why not? So for a total of 24% dex, if you want to count that bonus potential dex line, then that would be 32% dex. Pretty awesome. Next, we have my Bowmaster's gold maple leaf emblem. I just got this unique real quick during Miracle Time, and it's just 30% PDR, 3% all stats, 6% attack. I'm just going to be leaving it at that because again, this is a temporary character. No need to go all out. Ghost Ship Exorcist badge, pretty much no stats. Scroll I used on it was a chaos scroll of goodness actually, and it failed, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But yeah, I'm not going to be cubing this because there's no real need to. Next, we have my Brute Squad medal, pretty standard. I think you get this by having 3 level 180 characters or 3 level 170 characters on your account, so pretty standard medal. Next, we have my secondary weapon, the Blasted Feather. It has 12% attack, 9% dex in the main pot, 9% attack in the B pot, and an 18% PDR Nebulite. So I'm not going to be cubing this anymore. I'm just going to sell it after when I'm done with my Bowmaster. And I could get a decent amount for this, so there's no real reason to change it. Percent attack is always nice. And yeah, it's whoever gets it or whoever buys it from me next, it could touch it up to however they want. Lastly, we have my Tyrant Cape. It is 13 stars, so all my Tyrants are 10 stars except for my Cape. Forgot to mention that. So yeah, really nice Cape. 27, I think. 27% potential. 4% in the B pot, 4% Nebulite for a total of 35%, as well as that 11 attack in the B pot as well. Pretty nice stuff. Really nice equips overall, if you ask me. 2 mil clean. What bothers me though is this magic avoidability crap. It's so close to being maxed. It just needs 700 more, 600 more, 548 more if we want to be precise. But I can get it up a little bit more. Let me just fully buff up. So 9.7k, we just need about 264 more points on that magic avoidability for it to be maxed out. But unfortunately we just can't quite get there. I also have a legendary inner ability that I've been tampering with using all my points. Of course I lock it in legendary so I don't lose that tier. But I haven't really gotten anything good. At least I have attack +1 for every 14 levels, which is pretty nice if you ask me. And I think I've been saving that line, to be honest, because it only costs an extra 3k points more. With that being said, HyperStats, I have 5 in dex because 5 points isn't much, and I wanted to test it out. I wanted to see how much dex it would give me, but it actually only gives you this amount, which is a little bit weird. So I have 4 into jump, almost maxed, because my Bowmaster's jump is completely disgusting, and I hate it so much. So this is a waste of points, I know, but honestly, I don't care too much. I have 8 points into minimum critical because Bowmaster's minimum critical isn't the best, just like Wind Archer's, except I think theirs is actually better than Wind Archer's. So that's even, you know, a little bit sad. I have 10 points into damage. No matter what class you are, you're going to want to have 10 points into this, guys. Whether you're a Magician, a Demon Avenger, a Demon Slayer, or whatever you are, you're going to want to max this out. This is probably the most important one, because not only does it amplify your damage on bosses, but it amplifies your damage on mobs, on everything, right? This just amplifies your damage. So boss damage, I have 7 points because this is a really important stat as well, especially if you like to boss a lot, guys. Definitely put points into this if you need it. So yeah, I don't have any in PDR because honestly, 94% PDR, I don't need a damn single one more. And that's pretty much it for my HyperStats. I don't have anything else to put points. Actually, I don't have any points to put into anything else, rather. Lastly, guys, the link skills. Cannoneer, Demon Slayer, Luminous, Phantom, Kaiser. This is Kaiser, I believe. Xenon, Cygnus Knights, all 5 of them. Demon Avenger, Kana, Zero, Beast Tamer, and my Mercedes link skills. Don't have my Kinesis link skill on here because, yeah, you guys know it's glitched, and whenever you log out, it just comes off, so that's pretty annoying. But anyways, that's the equipment video. Hopefully you guys found it entertaining. Hopefully you guys found it helpful in some way. Hopefully you guys liked it. I know it was very, very lengthy. I think I've been talking for, what, like 50 minutes now? It feels like forever. But hopefully you guys bared with me and stuck around till the end. Thank you all for watching this Sorrowful production. If you enjoyed the video, then why not show it? Hit that like button and subscribe for more Sorrowful goodness. Peace.